When we manage people in a growing company, many HR tasks repeat every week or every quarter. Goal setting repeats, payroll checks repeat, and when these tasks do not follow a clear structure, small things slip through. Maybe a missed check or a delayed conversation. Over time, that affects team clarity and trust. So today, we will walk through 5 very useful templates inside HoorayHR. These templates give you a ready framework for HR operations. Let's see what each template does, how the workflow usually runs, and why it can make your HR process more predictable for you and your team. So let us start with the first one, which is the performance cycle for modern companies. Many companies still run annual performance reviews. However, the issue with that model is simple. A whole year passes before people talk seriously about progress. So by the time feedback arrives, the moment has already passed. This template follows a quarterly cycle instead. Because of that, every 3 months, you and your team review development, goals, and progress. Inside the workflow, the cycle normally begins with goal definition. Within the first week of the quarter, the employee and team lead define development goals together, and these goals often relate to skills, project impact, or collaboration improvement. Then, about a month later, a structured kickoff conversation happens. At this point, both sides discuss expectations and early progress. After that, the cycle moves into regular one-on-one meetings. Some companies schedule them every 2 weeks, others prefer once per month. So the idea stays simple. Progress never stays invisible. Finally, at the end of the quarter, the evaluation meeting closes the cycle. You review which goals moved forward and which ones need more time. And because the cycle repeats every 3 months, development becomes continuous rather than occasional. So for you as a manager, this template gives clear visibility into how your team evolves over time. Now let us move to something very practical, payroll. The second template is the monthly payroll administration checklist. Payroll mistakes usually do not happen because software fails. Instead, they happen because a small item gets missed before the payroll run. So this checklist solves that issue by structuring the entire monthly verification process. The first step normally happens 1 day before the payroll change deadline. At that time, you generate a leave report. This report shows all leave types that affect salary adjustments. For example, that may include parental leave or maternity leave. Then you verify sick leave registrations. In many countries, sick leave affects payroll calculations, so this check ensures that every record stays accurate before payroll finalization. After that, you confirm the recorded working hours for employees. This matters a lot for teams that track hourly contracts or overtime. Next, the template reminds you to process expense claims and employee declarations. Travel costs or reimbursements often arrive late in the month, so this step ensures those items enter the payroll cycle on time. Once all checks complete, payroll processing becomes far more reliable. Now let us shift toward company goals. The third template is reaching goals with an OKR cycle. OKR stands for Objectives and Key Results, and many technology companies use this framework because it connects individual effort with company direction. Inside this template, the process starts at the beginning of each quarter. At that point, employees define 2 or 3 objectives with measurable key results. An objective explains the direction, and the key results define how progress will be measured. For example, an objective may focus on improving customer onboarding experience. Then the key results may include reducing onboarding time or increasing completion rate. About 2 months into the quarter, the system schedules a feedback checkpoint. At this moment, employees review the progress of each key result, and if something blocks progress, this is the time to adjust priorities or request support. Then, during the rest of the quarter, employees track progress every week or during regular check-ins. Finally, at the end of the cycle, the team reviews the results. Now we move into another very human part of work, feedback. The fourth template focuses on feedback. Many organizations want an honest feedback culture. However, people often hesitate to give feedback in an open meeting. So this template creates a structured feedback request cycle. Around 3 months into the feedback period, employees request input from selected people. These can include teammates, clients, or external partners. After feedback arrives, the employee reviews the responses privately. Then, this reflection step helps identify patterns. Perhaps communication feels strong, or perhaps time management needs attention. Next, the employee sets development goals based on that feedback. Then, a conversation with the team lead confirms those goals and explores possible support. So the value here is perspective. Instead of feedback from only one manager, the employee receives insights from multiple people who work with them, and that often leads to more balanced development. Now, let us talk about the final template. This one is the performance review template. Even with continuous feedback cycles, structured performance reviews still play an important role because they create a dedicated space for reflection and planning. The process usually begins with self-reflection. Employees review the past period and answer open questions. They describe achievements, challenges, and collaboration experiences. Then, the template includes rating scales for areas like job satisfaction and teamwork. So these ratings provide quick signals about employee experience. After that, the manager and employee meet for a structured discussion. Both sides share insights and observations, and because the employee already completed reflection questions, the conversation usually feels more focused. From there, the discussion moves toward improvement areas. These are not criticism points, instead they act as learning directions. Finally, the template records clear development goals and action steps for the upcoming period. Over time, these records create a strong development history for each employee. Well, hey, they don't live alone as static documents. Instead, they integrate with workflows, HR records, leave tracking, and other modules inside the platform. So instead of separate spreadsheets or documents, everything lives inside one HR system. If you plan to implement HoorayHR in your company, these 5 templates give you a very practical place to begin. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe for more.